Shih Tzus are part of a group of dogs that are toy dogs, and that means they are not tiny teacup size, they are decent dog size, but not as big as the medium or the slightly bigger dogs that you will see around. And they have both good things as well as bad things. As a vet, I can't help but start with the medical problems. And I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm a vet, so we'll start with medical problems. They are what you call part of a group of brachycephalic dogs. That is just a long and complicated word to say they have a short nose or a squished in face. When they are bred to have a short nose, and they are bred like that because then they are cute and people like them. And so breeders want to sell puppies, and then therefore they breed these cute puppies that everybody wants. One of the problems with having brachycephalic breeds is because of their short nose, they have problems breathing. And for Sri Lanka, that is probably the biggest issue that we face with the short-nosed dogs. They also have problems with their eyes because their eyes tend to push out a little bit because their skull is shortened, and they have problems with their dentition and their teeth. The jaws in this breed particularly, the front jaw goes in front and the back jaw is back a bit. Those are the three issues with brachycephalic dogs. Because of the breathing issue, they are very complicated dogs to have, and I would not recommend them for these tropical climates. Any brachycephalic breed. As a group, those dogs are not suitable for tropical climates because the breathing is much worse and more difficult when it's hot. In this particular case, I want to show off that Cleo, in fact, is a very balanced example of a brachycephalic dog. His snout is longer than average. Cleo's eyes are not quite so bulging. His mouth is much more normally aligned, so the teeth meet much better. As a result, he can crunch very well. Look at that big crunch. Nice crunchy biscuits, no problem. He has no problem eating at all. The breed as a whole doesn't have a problem eating. Even though their mouths can be really weird looking, they still can eat, and they have to eat to survive, and they've adapted to it. But it does give you a lot of dental problems. So let's look at Cleo's little mouth. So in his case, the teeth meet quite nicely actually. And if you are getting a brachycephalic breed, this is what you want to look for. A doggy with a slightly longer snout, less bulging out eyes, and a better alignment of his teeth. That is because Cleo is probably crossed with potentially a poodle, and they have nice long snouts. So if you get a mixed breed, no matter what group of dog or breed of dog you go to, a mixed breed will always be healthier than a purebred dog. So I always recommend, if you like, say, a golden retriever, try to get a mixed golden retriever, something else. If you like a Shih Tzu, especially if you are looking for a brachycephalic dog, try to get a mix like Cleo here, which is a mix with a poodle that makes his snout a lot more effective in terms of breathing. I will talk a lot more, we'll create actually a separate video on brachycephalic dogs because it's a really important thing for clients to understand how complicated things are when the nose is small like that. And you don't as a client generally know that. With the eyes, the main problem is if you do have a doggy with bulging eyes, you want to get them checked so that any treatment that is required is done in a timely manner. The commonest problem is what we call dry eyes, because there's a lot of airflow, the eyelids don't close properly, and therefore they get what we call dry eyes, and that can be treated, but you need to know it's there for you to treat it, so you do need to check on that. And same with the teeth. If there's a very abnormal mouth, they anyway need to all dogs need their teeth brushed, ideally daily. We have another video here as well on how to look after their teeth and their dental issues. But with the brachycephalic breed, it is particularly important because if the teeth are not aligning, food accumulates, hair accumulates, the wear down is different, everything is different, and you're going to get serious dental problems. You need to brush the teeth every day, and you need to take him again for a checkup. I would say for brachycephalic breeds, you need checkups twice a day. Twice a year, sorry. Twice a day would be tough, wouldn't it? Twice a year, so that you make sure the eyes, the teeth, and the breathing is managed to the best possible level with this breed of dog. The other thing that you have with them is you usually have a nice long coat. He doesn't look like he has a long coat because he's had a very good trim. We'll show you pictures before. He was a nice big round fluff ball, but this is much better for him in this climate because he's much less hot, much more comfortable with the nice short cut. The breed as a breed and the poodle to which he is crossed to are all breeds, the Shih Tzu and the poodle are both breeds that do not shed, even though they have long coats. So they are much more suitable for people who might be allergic to dogs and dog fur, and they are in some ways easier to maintain. If you want a nice house, then you need a little bit more of a doggy who has less tendency to shed. But with the long coat and goes the other side of it, which means you have to maintain that coat, because again this is a hot tropical climate. If you don't maintain the coat, you will end up with serious, chronic, very difficult to treat skin rashes. The other thing with the long coat is nutrition is really, really important. If they don't have a nice balanced diet, that will also make the coat and skin less healthy, and you will find a doggy who gets skin rashes all the time, and that can be really a pain to deal with. So you really want to watch that side of things. So daily brushing and regular grooming and good nutrition essential for this coat type, and keeping it clipped and short is also important in this hot weather for this coat type. Bathing, I would say once, twice a month maybe is plenty. If you dry out the coat, that is also not good. So that will also cause you to have skin problems. Brushing absolutely every day. You have no choice in that. And the length of hair is something you need to work with based on the individual dog. The hair does go fast. I'm sure that you realize the hair goes fast. So they may need clipping and grooming more often, and that's cost. You know, if you either learn to do it yourself or you pay for it and get it done, but it is an additional cost with the breed. So the good food and the regular grooming and the dental care are extra costs with this breed that you need to know before you get the doggy, because that's something you're going to have to lay out for him. Then the next thing is his behavior and whether he fits your lifestyle and whether you will fit his lifestyle, because that match is really, really important. They are very happy, friendly, outgoing, intelligent, fairly active dogs. Actually quite active for a small breed. So they are not your carpet kind of dog. If you are very, very sedentary, you will have a hyper dog running all over the house, and you're not going to be happy with it, and the doggy is not going to be happy because he's not getting the exercise and the chance to express that energy that you will need. We will show you some videos of Mr. Cleo doing some wonderful plays, jumping, exercises and things like that, and he's a very good jumper, and that kind of thing is excellent for him. So he does need exercise. He is very friendly, so he will be very good with children and any kind of family situation. Having said that though, he is a toy breed, and all toy breeds don't like to be bullied, don't like to be roughhoused with, don't like too much manhandling. So if you have that age of a child, boy or girl for that matter, who is going to be a bit rough on the dog, you might be careful about getting a smaller breed. You want a larger breed that can put up with that much better. But if you have a soft child, a gentle child, an older child who can handle the dog well and not scare him, then this is an ideal breed for a family because of that. The only downside with their personality, again this is something with a lot of smaller dogs, is that they are very intelligent, but they can be very stubborn. And because they are very smart, They know that they are cute and that they can make you do what they want you to do, and they can make you give in to their demands very quickly, and they can easily become spoiled. And what I mean by spoiled is really disobedient more than anything else, because otherwise, spoiling them from the point of view of cuddling them and petting them and doing all those things is fine, but you also want a dog who does listen to you and behaves. Areas where the stubbornness will come in is toilet training. Again, you can get advice on how to do that painlessly and simply. It's just technique. It's not rocket science. So make sure you talk to someone who knows, talk to your vet and try to get that information so that you do it right. It's really important to start early, do it right from the beginning, because it's much easier to train it correctly than to undo mistakes. And again, here we have a whole series of information available in terms of printouts and discussions that you can have in our puppy socializing class. We'll explain to you how to do that. There's absolutely no shortage of information, so don't wait. And the day you get your puppy home, you should start thinking about house training and toilet training your doggy. The second thing is critical for this breed is socializing. You have to socialize your puppy with these smaller breeds that tend to be both stubborn as well as have the potential to be nervous and scared of things. And that will make them snappy, not aggressive in the sense of we think of aggression, but they can be snappy because they're scared. So you can approach them and they can snap. You can do something and they can snap. A child can try to play and they can snap, and that's just because they're scared. And the way to eliminate that, like in Cleo here, who is a very confident, very nice example of a Shih Tzu and who likes his treats, is to use treats and to do the socializing and the training. By socializing, I mean expose them to everything under the sun. Children, adults, people in sarongs, people in formal coats, people who are hyper, people who are quiet, other dogs, other cats, any other animal you can, an occasional cow, even an elephant if you take them for a walk in Vihara Mahadevi Park during the Parahara season. All of those things will help him be a calmer dog. Trains, cars, buses, loud noises, washing machines, vacuum cleaners, umbrellas, anything that you can think of that the dog will normally encounter in their normal lifestyle, which is nothing for them to be afraid of, which are normal things. They shouldn't be afraid of. These happen, they will see it happen. If you expose that to them when they are between 6 weeks and 4 months, you will have a very comfortable, very confident, wonderful, happy, smart, well-balanced doggy. So that's your socializing. You also don't need to do the training. That is just to make sure your dog is not scared of things. But the training is more specific. You want your dog to sit, come when he calls, lie down when you call, wait in a place if you want him to wait someplace, and a few basics. You can take that as far as you want to go, like Cleo does. You can do some jumping, you can do agility, you can do play things, you can teach them tricks. Whatever you do, it should be with positive reinforcement. Never need to scold, yell, hit, do anything negative to your doggy. They learn just like children, just like us. The more love you give, the more treats you give, the easier it is to teach them, and they're smart. It's not rocket science. You don't need to do much other than give them lots of treats, yes. And then they will do literally anything you want them to do. So you can take the training from basic to advanced, it doesn't matter, but you must do the basic, because then you can enjoy having a dog in the house. He's not going to be pain in the neck. You can take him places. He can come and do nice video shoots like this because he's well behaved. And he can have fun, and you can have fun, and you can have a really good, solid companionship together with a healthy, happy, well socialized, well trained, properly chosen, Pawfect